I was holding the DNA test results in one hand and my son's drawing of our family, where I didn't exist, in the other, when I realized the past 10 years of my life had been a meticulously planned con. How could the woman I trusted with everything orchestrate such an elaborate betrayal? And what else don't I know? Let me take you back to where it started. 3 days before I found that test result. 3 days before my world ended. It's Tuesday morning, April 14th, and I'm standing in my kitchen holding a printed reservation confirmation. The paper is slightly wrinkled because I've pulled it out of my wallet 17 times in the past week. I run my thumb over the highlighted time. 7:30 p.m., Friday, April 17th, our 10th anniversary, Bella Nata, the same restaurant where I proposed to Sarah a decade ago. I'd called in favors, bribed the maitre d', arranged for the same corner table by the window where she said yes. I even found the same wine we drank that night, a 2014 Chianti that cost me 3 months of careful budgeting. The small velvet box sits heavy in my pocket. Inside, a platinum anniversary band engraved with our initials and the date. S+M, 10 years, forever. The engraver charged me an extra $35 for that word. Forever, 8 letters. I paid it gladly. "You're doing that thing again," my brother Mike says over the phone. I've got him on speaker while I make coffee. That excited, nervous thing where you can't sit still. I'm not nervous. You're literally pacing. I can hear your footsteps. He's right. I'm wearing a path in the kitchen tile. Tyler's still asleep upstairs. Sarah left early for work. Some big presentation she's been stressed about, or so she said. It's going to be perfect, I tell Mike. She has no idea. I told her I had to work late Friday. She thinks we're celebrating on Saturday. And Tyler? Staying with Mom. He made her a card. Kid's been working on it for days. Mike laughs. You're a good husband, man. Sarah's lucky. I smile, looking at the reservation confirmation again. I'm the lucky one. If you've ever planned something special, you know that feeling, that mix of excitement and terror that comes with wanting everything to be perfect. I call Bella Nate at lunch to confirm everything. Marco, the manager, answers. We've become friendly over the months I've been planning this. Mr. Hayes? Yes, everything is ready. The table, the wine, He pauses. I hear typing. Wait. Let me, just one moment. My stomach drops. Is there a problem? More typing. A long silence. When Marco speaks again, his voice has changed. Careful, too careful. Mr. Hayes, there's already a reservation under your wife's name. For tonight, for 3 people. The reservation confirmation crumples in my hand. Friday arrives like a fever dream. I leave work at 6, telling everyone I'm heading home. Instead, I drive straight to Bella Nate. I need to see Marco's face when he explains this. I need this to be a mistake. The restaurant glows warm in the evening light. Through the windows, I can see couples already seated. Candlelight, white tablecloths. The piano player in the corner. I paid extra for him to learn Sarah's favorite song. Marco meets me at the door before I can enter. He's nervous, glancing behind him. Mr. Hayes, I tried calling you. Show me. He leads me inside, but stops near the host stand, blocking my view of the dining room. Perhaps we should discuss this in my office. Show me, Marco. He steps aside. Our table, the corner table by the window. There's a small bouquet of white roses, Sarah's favorite, 2 wine glasses, a bottle of that same Chianti, already opened, and a balloon, ridiculous and bright, tied to the back of one chair. Happy anniversary. Sarah sits across from a man I've never seen before. Asian, mid-30s, expensive suit. They're laughing. Her hand rests on the table, fingers almost touching his. The same way she used to touch mine. But it's the third chair that makes my knees buckle. Tyler, my son. Our son. 9 years old, wearing his favorite blue polo shirt, the one I ironed this morning. He's supposed to be at my mother's house. I watch as Tyler stands up, walks around the table, and hugs the man. Not a polite hug, a real one, comfortable, familiar, and I hear him say it. Even from across the restaurant, I hear my son's voice, clear as breaking glass. Thanks for bringing us here, Dad. I don't remember moving. One moment I'm frozen by the host stand, and the next I'm at their table. The man sees me first. His smile falters. Sarah follows his gaze, and for just a second, less than a heartbeat, I see panic flash across her face. Then it's gone, replaced by something worse. Composure. Tyler looks up at me, confused. Dad, what are you doing here? You said you had to work. I can't speak. My voice has disappeared. The velvet box in my pocket feels like a stone. Sarah stands, smoothing her dress. That same burgundy dress she wore on our first anniversary. Marcus, she says, and her voice is steady, calm, like we've rehearsed this. Let's talk at home. Tyler doesn't need to see this. The other man, remains seated. He's watching me carefully, measuring. Not afraid, not guilty, just waiting. Who is he? I finally manage. Sarah glances at Tyler, then back at me. She smiles. The same smile from our wedding day, from the hospital when Tyler was born, from 1,000 morning coffees and goodnight kisses. Not here, please, think of Tyler. She's right, and she knows it. She's always right. That's her gift. I look at my son. His eyes are wide, darting between the three adults, trying to understand. He's clutching his napkin in both hands. There's spaghetti sauce on his chin. Marco appears at my elbow, his hand gentle on my shoulder. Mr. Hayes, perhaps some air. I let him guide me away, but as we walk, I glance back. Sarah has sat down again. The man reaches across the table, squeezes her hand. She squeezes back, and Tyler picks up his fork like nothing happened, like I was never there at all. I'm outside, breathing air that tastes like metal when my phone buzzes. A text from Sarah. I'll explain everything. Just give me an hour to get Tyler settled, please. Marco stands beside me, silent. Finally, he speaks. Mr. Hayes, I did not know. The reservation was made 3 weeks ago. Same name, different first initial. I should have caught it. I pull out my phone, scroll through our family photos. Here's Tyler's 8th birthday. Here's last Christmas. Here's us at the beach. Tyler on my shoulders, Sarah laughing, her arms wrapped around both of us. I show Marco the phone. This is my wife. This is my son. We've been married for 10 years, today. He nods slowly. The man she's with, he paid with a credit card last time they were here. David Chen. They've come 4 times in the past 6 months, always Friday nights. The world tilts. Always with Tyler? I ask. Marco nods. The velvet box is still in my pocket. I pull it out, snap it open. The platinum band catches the streetlight, winking. S+M, 10 years forever. I close the box, put it back in my pocket. Thank you, Marco, I say. I need to go home now. She didn't panic. She didn't cry. She smiled, that same smile from our wedding day, and said, let's talk at home. Tyler doesn't need to see this. Like she'd been preparing for this moment. Sarah arrives home at midnight. I'm sitting at the kitchen table in the dark, surrounded by papers. Our marriage certificate, bank statements, Tyler's birth certificate, insurance documents, every official piece of paper that says we're a family. I've been looking at them for 3 hours, and something is wrong. I just can't see it yet. She turns on the light. I don't look up. Where's Tyler? I ask. With David, at a hotel. Of course, because David gets to comfort my son while I sit here in the dark, trying to understand how I missed this. How long? My voice sounds far away. She sits down across from me, pours herself a glass of water from the pitcher I filled earlier, back when I thought I was preparing for a romantic conversation after our anniversary dinner. Does it matter? How long? 5 years, on and off. I finally look at her. She's taken off her makeup. She looks tired, human. And Tyler knows? Tyler knows David. They're close. That's not what I asked. She sighs. Tyler knows David is important to me, to us. That's all he needs to know right now. I slide the marriage certificate toward her. I was looking at this, really looking. Your signature... I point to the bottom line. The M in Mitchell, it's different. You loop it differently now. She glances at it. People's handwriting changes. Show me your phone. Marcus. Your phone, Sarah, now. She pulls it from her purse, unlocks it, slides it across the table. I scroll through. Texts with her sister, work emails, mom group chats, calendar events, everything normal, everything exactly what it should be. Too perfect. You have another phone, I say. It's not a question. Her face doesn't change. You're being paranoid. I stand up, walk to the cupboard under the sink, pull out the trash bag from this morning, dig through coffee grounds and vegetable peelings until I find what I'm looking for. A crumpled phone bill, printed out, torn in half. I'd seen it this afternoon while taking out the trash. Didn't think anything of it then. Now I smooth it out on the table. 2 device numbers. One I recognize, her iPhone. One I don't. Sarah, where's the other phone? She stands. I'm tired. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Where is it? There is no other phone. That bill is wrong. I'll call the company. I'm already moving. Past her, up the stairs, into our bedroom. She follows, protesting, but I'm not listening anymore. I'm thinking about hiding places. Secret places. Places I'd never look because I trusted her. The master bathroom. Her side of the vanity. I pull open drawers. Makeup, hair products, tampons. The box is heavy. Too heavy. I open it. Underneath the first layer, wrapped in tinfoil, sealed in a Ziploc bag, a second iPhone. It's warm, recently used. 3:47 a.m. That's what time I found it. Sarah is standing in the bathroom doorway watching me. She's not protesting anymore. I unlock it. Her passcode is the same as her other phone. Our anniversary date, how's that for irony? And scroll through messages. Hundreds of texts, thousands. All to one contact. DC. I open the most recent conversation. DC. 10 years. Can't wait to finally tell T the truth. Sarah. Soon. After this weekend. He deserves to know. DC. We've waited long enough. I'm his father too. The phone slips from my hands. Clatters against the tile. The screen cracks. Sarah and I stare at each other across the bathroom. What truth? I ask. She closes her eyes. I was going to tell you, this weekend, I had a plan. What truth, Sarah? When she opens her eyes again, I don't recognize her. Tyler isn't yours, she says quietly. Biologically, he's David's. I got pregnant before we met. We couldn't be together then, but you were stable, you were kind. I thought I could make it work. I thought we'd all be happy. The bathroom is spinning. I grip the edge of the vanity. I've been his father for 9 years, I whisper. I know. I was there when he was born. I cut the cord. I did the midnight feedings. I taught him to ride a bike. I know. Does he know? She hesitates, just for a moment, but I see it. He's been asking questions, she admits. He's noticed he looks more like David. Kids are smart, Marcus. They figure things out. I pick up the broken phone from the floor, scroll through more messages, pictures of Sarah and David, pictures of the 3 of them, Sarah, David, and Tyler, at parks, restaurants, the zoo, a whole life documented, a parallel life, dates from when I was traveling for work, when I was trusting her to hold down the fort at home. I find the text from 2 months ago, a scanned document, an engagement announcement, Sarah Mitchell and David Chen, engaged to be married, from 11 years ago, 6 months before I met her. I look at the hidden phone. I look at the woman I married. I look at the life I thought I had. And it all falls away. Morning comes too early. Tyler is already in the kitchen when I stumble downstairs at 7. He's sitting at the table, arranging his Cheerios by color, a game I taught him when he was 4. "Morning, buddy," I say, and my voice sounds almost normal. "Morning, Dad." He doesn't look up, concentrates on separating the yellow ones from the brown ones. I make coffee, pour his juice. The same routine we've had for years. Tuesday is cereal day. Wednesday is waffles. Thursday is oatmeal with honey. I'm memorizing everything about this morning, the way he bites his lower lip when he's focused, the cowlick at the back of his head, the freckle on his left ear. Just in case it's one of our last, Mrs. Chen, our neighbor, is watering her plants outside. I see her through the window. She waves, I wave back. Everything looks normal. Everything is normal. Except my son might not be my son. Except my wife has been living a double life. Except I don't know what's real anymore. "Dad?" Tyler looks up. "Why does Mom have 2 phones?" The coffee mug stops halfway to my mouth. "What do you mean, buddy?" "I saw her talking on the other one. She always hides it when you come in." He goes back to his cereal, innocent, factual, just a kid's observation. My blood is ice. "When did you see this?" He shrugs. "Lots of times. She keeps it in her bathroom, under her stuff." "Did you ever hear what she was saying?" "Sometimes. She talks different on that phone. Happier. She laughs more." He looks up at me with those clear 9-year-old eyes. "Is Mom sad with us?" I set down the coffee, crouch next to his chair. "No, buddy. Mom loves you very much. She loves both of us. But even as I say it, I'm not sure it's true." Tyler nods, satisfied, and returns to his Cheerios. I pull out my phone and text Mike. "I need a lawyer. Today. Can you help?" His response comes immediately. "On it! What happened?" I look at my son, my boy, the kid I've raised for 9 years, the kid who calls me Dad. "Everything," I type back. Tyler looks up from his cereal and asks, "Dad, why does Mom have 2 phones?" My blood froze. "What do you mean, buddy?" "I saw her talking on the other one. She always hides it when you come in." Mike gets me in to see Rebecca Walsh by noon. She's a family law attorney with an office that smells like leather and old books. The kind of place that feels institutional, safe, like justice might actually exist here. I sit across from her desk and try to explain. The words come out wrong, jumbled. I keep starting over. Rebecca listens, taking notes in neat handwriting. When I finally stop talking, she looks up. "Mr. Hayes, may I call you Marcus?" I nod. "Marcus, I need to ask you some questions, and I need you to answer them honestly. Can you do that?" "Yes." "Do you have any evidence of this affair? Text messages, photos, witnesses?" I pull out my phone, show her the pictures I took of Sarah's hidden phone before she made me give it back this morning. Screenshots of messages, the engagement announcement, the phone bill. Rebecca examines each one, her expression unchanging. Professional. "This is good. Very good. We can work with this." "What about Tyler?" My voice cracks on his name. "I've been his father since birth. She can't just... I have rights, don't I?" Rebecca sets down her pen. "That's complicated. Biologically, if David Chen is Tyler's father, and if he wants custody or visitation, he has legal standing. But you've been acting as Tyler's parent for 9 years. That matters. Courts consider the best interest of the child. Tyler loves me. I'm his dad." "I believe you. But Marcus, we need to establish paternity definitively for the court. Do you understand what I'm saying?" "I understand. I just don't want to." "A DNA test," I say. "Yes, before we proceed with anything, divorce, custody, asset division, we need to confirm Tyler's biological father, because if it's David Chen..." She pauses, choosing her words carefully. "This isn't just divorce. This is fraud, identity fraud. Possibly theft if she used your identity to access funds or benefits for a child that isn't biologically yours. This could be criminal." The room feels smaller, colder. "How much money are we talking about?" I ask. Rebecca pulls up a document on her computer. Based on the bank statements you showed me, I had my paralegal run a preliminary analysis. There are transfers to an unknown account, regular withdrawals. It totals approximately $127,000 over the past 5 years. The number punches the air from my lungs. That's my inheritance from my father. He died 6 years ago, left me $150,000. Sarah said we needed it for Tyler's college fund, for home renovations, for David Chen's life, most likely. Rebecca finishes gently. I'm sorry. I stare at the Persian rug under my feet. My father worked construction for 40 years, saved every penny. He gave me that watch the day Tyler was born, the Rolex he bought himself when he retired. For the next generation, he said, take care of your boy. I'm still wearing it. There's more, Rebecca says. She slides a document across the desk. Your marriage certificate, the one on file with the state. I had my office check. It was never properly filed. Technically, legally, you and Sarah aren't married. The world tilts again. The prenup you signed, also never filed. The house deed you think is in both names. Just hers. Your joint bank account, she can drain it tomorrow and you'd have limited recourse. I can't breathe. Rebecca slides something else across the desk. A small white box. A DNA paternity test kit. Before we proceed, Mr. Hayes, we need to confirm Tyler's biological father. I need you to collect a sample from Tyler. Just a cheek swab. It's painless. The lab can have results in 72 hours. I pick up the box. It's light, harmless. This tiny thing might destroy my life. And if he's not mine, I whisper. Rebecca leans forward. Then we fight. There's something called the psychological parent doctrine. You've been Tyler's father in every way that matters for his entire life. That carries weight. But Marcus, I need you to understand, this will get ugly. Sarah will fight. David will fight. You need to be prepared. I just want my son. I know, and we're going to do everything we can. She pulls out a business card, writes something on the back, slides it to me. This is my personal cell. Call me anytime, day or night. You're not alone in this. I look at the card, at the DNA kit, at this woman who's a stranger, but might be the only person fighting for me. If you've ever sat across from someone and realized they're the only thing standing between you and losing everything, you know this feeling. Rebecca slid the paternity test kit across the desk. Before we proceed, Mr. Hayes, we need to confirm Tyler's biological father, because if it's David Chen, this isn't just divorce. This is fraud, potentially criminal. Thursday afternoon, Sarah is at work, or wherever she actually goes. Tyler gets home from school at 3:15. I'm waiting in the kitchen with the DNA kit, trying to look casual. Hey buddy, how was school? Good, we're learning about family trees and science. He drops his backpack and grabs a juice box from the fridge. Mom said she'd help me with mine. Of course she did. Actually, I was thinking we could do something fun together, like a project. Tyler perks up. What kind of project? I pull out the DNA kit, trying to make it look exciting. Ever heard of genetic testing? It's like a family tree, but science-y. We swab our cheeks, and it tells us all about our ancestors. Want to try? Is it going to hurt? Not even a little. I'll do mine first, then you. We'll send them to a lab and get results on a computer. Pretty cool, right? Tyler considers this. Will it tell us if we're related to anyone famous? Maybe. You never know. Okay? The kit comes with instructions. 2 swabs. Simple. I do mine first, rubbing the cotton along the inside of my cheek, showing him it's nothing. Seal it in the tube, label it with my name. Your turn, buddy. Tyler opens his mouth wide like he's at the dentist. I take the second swab, it's rougher than I expected, the cotton texture catching on my fingers, and gently rub it against the inside of his cheek. His skin is so soft. Baby soft, even though he's 9. I count 3 swirls, gentle, like rubbing off sleep. The tube clicks shut. That sound, that tiny plastic click, might be the sound of my world ending. That's it? Tyler asks. Well, that's it. When do we get results? About 3 days. Should be ready by Sunday. He nods, already moving on to the next thing. Can I play Minecraft? Sure, buddy. He runs upstairs. I hear his door close. The computer boot up. I sit at the kitchen table holding the sealed tubes. My DNA. His DNA. 72 hours until I know if the past 9 years were real or just a long, elaborate lie. I flip through Tyler's baby book while I wait for the courier to pick up the samples. Sarah made this book. Meticulous. Every milestone documented. First smile, first word, first steps. But as I turn the pages, I notice something. All the entries are in Sarah's handwriting. Every single one. I remember writing some of these. I remember sitting at the same table, writing about Tyler's first birthday, about his first day of kindergarten. I have those memories, but there's no proof. My handwriting isn't here. I find a photo tucked in the back, hospital picture, Sarah holding newborn Tyler. I'm there too, standing beside the bed, looking exhausted and happy. But I've never seen this particular photo before. There's someone else in the frame, just barely. A hand on Sarah's shoulder, a man's hand. I take the photo out, hold it up to the light. Try to see more, but it's cropped, deliberately cut. My phone buzzes, text from Tyler. Dad, can you help me with this level? I text back, be right up. But I sit there for another minute staring at that cropped photo, wondering how many other things have been carefully cut out of the frame. Tyler asked why we were doing this. I told him it was for a family tree project. He grinned and said, cool. Mom said we're doing one at school too, but she said she'd help me with it, not you. That was Thursday. Results would take 72 hours. Friday morning, I meet Mike at a coffee shop downtown. He's brought his laptop. Mike works in IT security. If anyone can help me understand the digital trail, it's him. Okay, he says, opening a folder on his desktop. I did what you asked, pulled everything I could legally access from public records, social media, cloud backups. You're not going to like this. Just show me. He turns the laptop toward me. Sarah's iCloud. She had automatic backup enabled on both phones. Deleted photos still in the cloud for 30 days. The screen fills with images. Sarah and David at restaurants. Sarah and David at a concert. Sarah and David at the beach with Tyler, all three of them, a family. When were these taken? My voice sounds hollow. Various dates over the past 3 years. But look at this one. He clicks on a photo, wedding picture, Sarah in a white dress, David in a tux. They're young, early 20s maybe. She's laughing, looking up at him like he hung the moon. Check the metadata, date stamp. I lean closer. April 2014, that's 11 years ago. 6 months before you met her, Mike confirms. There's more, email drafts. She never sent them, but they're still in her cloud. He opens another window, emails between Sarah and David. Subject line, the plan. I read, David, I know this is hard. I know you want to be with us full time, but Marcus is stable. He has a good job, a retirement fund, family money. Tyler needs that. We need that. Just a few more years and we can transition Tyler to knowing the truth. He'll understand. We're doing this for him. I love you. Always have. S. The date, March 2020, 5 years ago, 6 months after we moved into our house. There's transaction history too, Mike says quietly. Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, payments from Sarah to David labeled family time, school supplies, Tyler clothes, adds up to thousands. My money, I say. Your money, Mike confirms. He clicks through more files. GPS data from Sarah's phone, trips to an address in Riverside Heights. David Chen's apartment, Mike explains. She went there 17 times in the past 6 months, always on days you were traveling for work. I'm watching my marriage dissolve into data points and timestamps. Here's the thing, bro. Mike's voice is careful. I found fake social media accounts. Sarah has a Facebook under a maiden name variation, Sarah M. Chen. It's private, but I could see some public posts. She refers to David as her husband, refers to Tyler as our son. There are people commenting, friends, family, who seem to think she and David are together. She's living two lives, I whisper. Yeah, and from what I can tell, some people in her life think she's with you. Some think she's with David. She's compartmentalized everything. My phone buzzes, text from Sarah. Can we talk? Really talk? I know you're angry, but there are things you don't understand. I show Mike. Don't respond yet. He says, wait until you have the DNA results. Right now, all we have is proof of an affair. If Tyler is David's biologically, this becomes something else entirely. He clicks through more files, then stops. His hands freeze on the keyboard. Bro, you need to see this. He turns the laptop toward me again. It's a scanned document, formal, official looking. An engagement announcement from a newspaper, the Philadelphia Inquirer, April 2014. Sarah Elizabeth Mitchell and David Wei Chen are pleased to announce their engagement. A June wedding is planned. I stare at it, read it 3 times. She was engaged to him, I say slowly. She was engaged to him when we met. Not just engaged. Mike clicks to another document. Look at this. A lease agreement, apartment in Philadelphia. Names on the lease, Sarah Mitchell and David Chen. Dates, January 2014, December 2014. They lived together, Mike says, and then she just left, moved to where you were, started over, met you at that conference in September 2014. I remember that conference, medical device sales. She was working registration. We talked about her dream of being a teacher. She seemed so genuine, so sweet. Do you think any of it was real? I ask. Mike closes the laptop, looks at me with the kind of honesty only a brother can give. I think she saw an opportunity. I think David couldn't give her the life she wanted. Not then. I think you could. And I think she took it. He reaches across the table, grips my shoulder. But none of that matters compared to Tyler. Whatever her reasons, whatever her lies, that kid loves you. You've been his dad. That's real. Don't lose sight of that. If you've ever had to choose between painful truth and comfortable lies, comment, I would want to know. Because sometimes the truth is the only thing that sets you free. Mike's hand stopped moving on the keyboard. Bro, you need to see this. It was a scanned document, an engagement announcement. Sarah and David, from 11 years ago, 6 months before I met her. The next 72 hours are the longest of my life. Saturday, I take Tyler to the park. We throw a football. He's getting good. His spiral is tighter than mine now. I watch him run, watch him laugh, and try to memorize everything. The way he wipes his nose on his sleeve, the way he argues about whose turn it is, the way he looks at me when he's proud of himself. Dad, did you see that catch? Did you see? I saw, buddy. That was amazing. At work Monday, my co-worker Jessica asks if I'm okay. You seem distracted. Just tired, I lie. Tyler's teacher calls during lunch. Mrs. Patterson, she's concerned. Tyler's been withdrawn lately. Is everything okay at home? We're going through some changes, I tell her. But Tyler's okay. We're making sure he's okay. He drew something in art class today, she says carefully. A family portrait. I thought you should know. He drew himself with 2 fathers. My hand tightens around the phone. Did he say anything about it? Just that families can look different. That sometimes kids have more than one dad. Thank you for letting me know. After I hang up, I search my email. Find the photo Mrs. Patterson sent. Tyler's drawing. Crayon on white paper. He presses hard when he draws. You can feel the wax ridges from the other side. There's Sarah, tall and smiling. There's a man labeled Dad David, tall, dark hair. There's another man labeled Dad Marcus. Yeah, that's me. And there's Tyler in the middle, holding both their hands. I'm not erased from this picture, but I'm not alone anymore either. Tuesday, Sarah texts, "We need to talk. I know you know." I don't respond. Mike texts, "How are you holding up?" I send back, "Waiting." My notebook at work is full of doodles, timelines, trying to map out when things changed. When did she start pulling away? When did Tyler start seeming confused? The anniversary band is still in my pocket. I carry it everywhere. Can't seem to put it down. Wednesday evening, Sarah is working late, again, or she's with David. I don't ask anymore. Tyler and I make spaghetti. He tells me about his day. Something about a kid named Jeremy who brought a snake to school. I'm listening, but I'm also watching, looking for signs. Does he look like me? Everyone always said he had my smile, but now I see David's eyes, David's nose. Or maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe my brain is rewriting everything because I know what's coming. Tyler looks up from his plate. "Dad, are you mad at Mom?" I set down my fork. "Why do you ask that?" "You don't talk to each other anymore." "Not really." "Your mom and I are figuring some things out, buddy. Grown-up stuff. But we both love you. That never changes, okay?" He nods, but he doesn't look convinced. That night I can't sleep. I check my email obsessively. 11:43 p.m., Wednesday, April 22nd. The notification chimes. Subject, "Your DNA diagnostics results are ready." I stare at it. 20 minutes pass. I can't click. Tyler is asleep down the hall. Sarah is in the guest room. We haven't shared a bed since Friday. The house is silent. I click. Friday night. Tyler was asleep. Sarah was working late again. The email notification chimed at 11:43 p.m. "Your DNA diagnostics results are ready." I sat there for 20 minutes before I could click. The loading screen feels like an eternity, spinning circle. Then the PDF opens. DNA diagnostics laboratory report. There's technical language, genetic markers, probability calculations. I skip to the bottom. Combined paternity index, 0 probability of paternity, 0.0%. Conclusion, Marcus Hayes is excluded as the biological father of Tyler Hayes. The words blur. I read them again and again, 0.0%. I'm not his father. I've never been his father. There's a notes section at the bottom, small print. Note, DNA markers indicate possible relation to third party previously tested in system, sample ID DC 2024-3891, tested April 2024. Probability of paternity for third party, 99.97%. David Chen had already known. He'd gotten tested a year ago. He knew Tyler was his son. And he'd been waiting. They'd both been waiting. 10 years. They'd let me raise their child for 10 years. I scroll through the full report. There are charts, numbers, genetic markers that don't match. Places where my DNA and Tyler's DNA are completely different. Strangers. We're genetic strangers. I look around the kitchen. Tyler's artwork on the fridge. His spelling tests, all A's. The height chart on the door frame where I've marked his growth every birthday. His baby handprint framed from Mother's Day when he was 3. My coffee mug, his cereal bowl, the table where we've eaten breakfast together for 9 years. All of it real. All of it mine. Except none of it is. I pick up the Father's Day card he made me last year. It's still on my desk. Construction paper, blue glitter glue, rough and sparkly under my thumb. His K's are backwards. The heart is lopsided. Best dad ever. I hold it in one hand, the DNA report in the other. And I realize I might not be his father, but I'd been his dad. I taught him to ride a bike. I did homework with him every night. I read to him until he fell asleep. I was there for skinned knees and bad dreams and first days of school. Biology is an accident. But being a father, that's a choice you make every single day. And that truth that I chose him every day for 9 years hurts more than any lie Sarah could tell. Because love doesn't disappear when you find out there's no DNA connection. It doesn't evaporate when you see 0.% on a lab report. If anything, it gets stronger, sharper, more painful. Because now I have to fight for it. Now I have to prove it matters. I sit there in the dark, holding that lopsided handmade card, and I cry. Really cry. The kind of crying that shakes your whole body. For the father I thought I was. For the son who might not be mine. For the 10 years we had before everything got complicated. I don't know how long I sit there. Long enough that the sun starts to come up. Long enough that I hear Tyler's alarm go off upstairs. I wash my face, make coffee, put on the mask of normalcy. Tyler comes downstairs, rubbing his eyes. Morning, Dad. And I realize whatever that report says, whatever the courts decide, whatever happens next, he's still saying Dad, not to David, to me. Morning, buddy, I say, and my voice only shakes a little. Cheerios or waffles? Thursday morning, I text Sarah, we need to talk tonight after Tyler's asleep. She responds immediately. Okay. Mike comes over at 8. I've asked him to be here, to witness, to record if necessary. He sets up in the dining room, door cracked, phone ready. Sarah arrives at 9. Tyler is at her sister's house, neutral territory. She doesn't know that yet. She sits at the kitchen table, the same table where we've had 1,000 normal conversations, where we plan vacations and discussed Tyler's report cards and argued about whether to get a dog. I spread the documents out in front of her, all of them, the DNA report, the phone records, the bank statements, the email drafts, the engagement announcement, the fake marriage certificate. Explain, I say. She looks at the papers. Her face doesn't change. She pours herself a glass of water from the pitcher, the same pitcher we got as a wedding gift, though apparently we were never really married. What do you want me to say? The truth, for once. I want the truth. She takes a sip of water, sets the glass down carefully. Okay, the truth. She straightens her shoulders, looks me directly in the eye. David and I met in college. We fell in love. We got engaged. I got pregnant. She says it like she's reciting a grocery list. David couldn't handle it. He was in medical school, no money. His parents were furious. We fought. Constantly, he said he wasn't ready to be a father. So you left him? No, I waited. For 2 years, I waited for him to be ready. I raised Tyler mostly alone. David would come and go, send money when he could. But it wasn't stable. Tyler deserved stability. So you found me? She nods. I met you at that conference. You were kind, successful. You talked about wanting a family. You were exactly what Tyler needed. What about what I needed? What I wanted? You wanted a family. I gave you one. I slide the DNA report toward her. You gave me a lie. I gave you a son. You love him. Don't pretend you don't. That's not the point. That's exactly the point. Her voice rises. Tyler has 2 fathers. One who could give him stability, security, a good home. One who could give him himself, his biology, his real connection. I gave him both. You should be grateful. The words hit like a slap. Grateful? Yes, grateful. Most men in your position would never get to experience fatherhood. I gave you that gift. 9 years of being a dad. 9 years of Tyler's love. And now you want to throw that away because of a piece of paper that says you don't share his DNA? I stare at her. This woman I married. This woman I trusted. You stole from me, I say quietly. My father's inheritance, $127. You transferred it to accounts you shared with David. That money went to Tyler. That money went to David's apartment, to your vacations with him, to the life you were building with him while lying to me every single day. She doesn't deny it. The marriage certificate, I continue, never filed. The prenup never filed. You made sure I had no legal protection, no claim to anything. I was protecting myself. You were setting me up from day one. This was all a plan, wasn't it? Find a stable guy, let him raise your kid, take his money. And when David was finally ready, when his career was established, you'd tell Tyler the truth and leave me with nothing. Sarah's jaw tightens. You're twisting this. Am I? I pull out the hidden phone. The screen is still cracked from when I dropped it. David's text. 10 years, can't wait to finally tell T the truth. That was last week. You were going to tell Tyler this weekend before I found out. You were going to control the narrative. She closes her eyes, opens them. Yes, I was going to tell Tyler. He deserves to know his real father. I am his real father. You're his legal guardian. There's a difference. Then explain to me. My voice breaks. I force it steady. Explain to me why Tyler calls me dad, why he comes to me when he's scared, why he wants me to read to him at night, why he drew me in his family picture. If I'm just some placeholder, some convenient stability, then why does he love me? Sarah's composure finally cracks. Just a little. Because you're a good man, Marcus. That's why I chose you. Because I knew you'd love him. I knew you'd be exactly what he needed. While you lied to both of us. I did what I had to do. I push back from the table. Stand. No, you did what was easy, what was convenient. You didn't want to choose between David and stability, so you took both. And you used me to do it. She stands too. What are you going to do? I pick up the DNA report, fold it carefully, put it in my pocket next to the anniversary band I still can't throw away. I'm going to fight for my son, I say, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what you did. David will fight too. He has rights. David Chen knew Tyler was his son a year ago. He got tested, and he said nothing. He watched me raise his child and said nothing. What kind of father does that? Sarah's face goes white. She didn't know I knew that. You can't win this, she says, but her voice wavers. Biology matters. The court will see 9 years of me being Tyler's father. They'll see the bank records showing you stole my inheritance. They'll see that you committed fraud. They'll see those emails planning this whole thing. And they'll see Tyler. They'll listen to him, and he'll tell them who his father is. I walk toward the door. Mike appears in the hallway, phone in hand, recording everything. Sarah sees him. You recorded this? Every word, Mike confirms. For the lawyers, for the court, for Tyler when he's older and wants to know the truth. Sarah looks between us. For the first time, I see fear in her eyes. Marcus, please, we can work this out. For Tyler, I echo. That's all I've ever wanted, for Tyler. I open the door. You should leave now. My attorney will be in touch. She doesn't panic. She doesn't cry. She sits down, pours herself wine, and says, You were the safe choice. David was the love of my life, but he couldn't give us stability. So I gave Tyler 2 fathers. You should be grateful you got to be part of his life. The custody hearing is set for 3 weeks later, May 15th. Courtroom 4B, Judge Morrison presiding. A woman in her 60s, gray hair pulled back, glasses on a chain. She's heard it all, her face says. Nothing surprises her. Rebecca sits beside me at the plaintiff's table. She's prepared. 3 inches of documents, exhibits A through Z. Sarah's lawyer is across the aisle. Richard Pemberton, expensive suit, slicked back hair, the kind of lawyer who makes you feel dirty just looking at him. David Chen is there too, in the gallery. He doesn't look at me. The bailiff calls order. Judge Morrison looks over her glasses at all of us. This is a preliminary custody hearing in the matter of Hayes versus Hayes. Mr. Pemberton, you're representing Mrs. Hayes? Yes, Your Honor. And you are? She looks at David. David Chen, Your Honor. I'm Tyler's biological father. The judge's eyebrows rise slightly. I see. This just got more interesting. Rebecca stands. Your Honor, if I may, This case involves more than custody. There are allegations of fraud, identity theft, and embezzlement. We're requesting full custody for Mr. Marcus Hayes under the psychological parent doctrine, as well as criminal investigation into Mrs. Hayes' actions. Judge Morrison leans back. Ms. Walsh, that's quite an accusation. What evidence do you have? Substantial evidence, Your Honor. For the next hour, Rebecca presents everything: the DNA test, the hidden phone, the bank records showing $127,000 transferred, the fake marriage certificate, the emails between Sarah and David discussing the plan. She calls Mike to testify about the digital forensics. He's calm, professional, explains how Sarah maintained 2 separate lives, how she manipulated records. She calls Marco from Bellinade. He testifies about the double reservation, about seeing Sarah and David there multiple times with Tyler. They looked like a family, he says. She enters Tyler's drawings as evidence, the timeline of how the protagonist slowly disappeared from the pictures, how David appeared more and more. Sarah's lawyer objects repeatedly. This is character assassination. My client made mistakes, yes, but she's still Tyler's mother. A mother who committed fraud, Rebecca counters, who stole over $100,000 from my client, who lied for 10 years, who manipulated a child. Judge Morrison holds up her hand. I've heard enough for now. I want to hear from the social worker. Mrs. Patterson? A woman in her 50s stands, the social worker assigned to Tyler's case. She's interviewed him 3 times over the past 2 weeks. Your Honor, Tyler is a bright, sensitive child. He's aware of the conflict but confused by it. In my interviews, he consistently referred to Marcus Hayes as Dad or my father. When I asked about David Chen, he said, that's my mom's friend. He's been told recently that David is his biological father, but he doesn't seem to understand or accept what that means. Did you review his psychological evaluation? Yes, Your Honor. Tyler shows signs of emotional manipulation, anxiety, confusion about his identity. He's asked multiple times why he has 2 dads and why Marcus doesn't live with them anymore. She pauses. Your Honor, Tyler is being coached. Subtly, but it's there. He'll start to say something about Marcus, then stop himself, look around like he's not sure if he's allowed to say it. If anyone listening has ever felt like their whole world was built on lies, I see you. Leave. You're still his dad if you believe love is stronger than biology. Judge Morrison writes something down. I'd like to speak with Tyler myself. Can we arrange that? Your Honor, Pemberton jumps in. The child is only 9. This is traumatic. Mr. Pemberton, I've been doing this for 30 years. I know how to talk to children. She looks at the bailiff. Bring Tyler in. Let's hear what he has to say. My heart stops. Rebecca leans over, whispers, This is good. Trust the process. The courtroom doors open. Tyler walks in, holding the social worker's hand. He's wearing his blue polo shirt. His hair is combed. He looks small, scared. His eyes find mine immediately. I try to smile, try to tell him it's okay. Judge Morrison softens her voice. Tyler, my name is Judge Morrison. Do you know why you're here? Tyler nods. His voice is barely a whisper. Because of my dad's. That's right. I need to ask you some questions. Is that okay? Another nod. Tyler, do you understand what's happening with your family right now? My mom and dad are getting divorced, and there's another dad. David, I don't know. My mom says he's my real dad. What do you think about that? Tyler looks at his shoes. I don't know. Tyler, when you think about your father, when someone says your dad, who do you think of? Silence. Tyler's eyes flick to Sarah, then to me, then to David. It's okay, Judge Morrison says gently. There's no wrong answer. Marcus, Tyler whispers. I think of Marcus. He's my dad. Why is that? Tyler's voice gets a little stronger. Because he's always been my dad. Since I was born. He taught me stuff. He helps with homework. He makes birthday pancakes. His voice wavers. He reads to me every night, even when he's tired. And David? How do you feel about him? He's nice. My mom really likes him, but I don't really know him. Not like I know my dad. Judge Morrison writes something. Tyler, do you have anything you want to say? Anything you want me to know? Tyler is quiet for a long moment. Then he looks up, right at me, and his voice, clear as breaking glass, fills the courtroom. Then Rebecca called Tyler to the stand. He was 9 years old. The judge asked him one question. Who is your father, Tyler? The courtroom went silent. Tyler stands there small and brave in his blue polo shirt that I ironed just last week, and he speaks. My father is the one who taught me to ride a bike, who stayed up with me when I had nightmares, who makes my birthday pancakes with chocolate chips. His voice is shaking, but he doesn't stop. Who reads to me every night, who came to every soccer game, who knows I like my sandwiches cut diagonal, not straight across. He looks at David, then at Sarah, then back at me. Marcus is my dad. He's the one who shows up. Every day. He's the one I want when I'm scared or sad or happy. His eyes are wet now. I don't care what the paper says. I don't care about DNA. Marcus is my dad. A tear rolls down his cheek. And I just want to go home with him. Please. The courtroom is completely silent. Judge Morrison takes off her glasses, wipes them, puts them back on. When she speaks, her voice is thick. Thank you, Tyler. You're very brave. You can sit down now. The social worker guides Tyler to a seat beside me. He immediately grabs my hand, holds tight. I can't breathe, can't speak. I just hold his hand and try not to fall apart. Judge Morrison looks at the lawyers. I've heard enough. I'm ready to make a preliminary ruling. Rebecca stands. Your Honor, we also have evidence related to the fraud charges. I've reviewed it, all of it. Judge Morrison looks at Sarah. Mrs. Hayes, stand up. Sarah stands slowly. For the first time, she looks afraid. Mrs. Hayes, I've been a family court judge for 31 years. I've seen a lot of things, but I have to say, this case is extraordinary. She pauses. You committed identity fraud by never filing your marriage certificate while using it to access joint accounts and credit. You embezzled over $100,000 from Mr. Hayes. You manipulated a child into believing a false narrative about his family. And you did all of this deliberately over a period of years. Your Honor, I can explain. I'm not finished. The psychological damage to this child is extensive. The betrayal of Mr. Hayes is unconscionable. This court recognizes that while you are Tyler's biological mother, you have proven yourself unfit to make decisions in his best interest. Judge Morrison looks at me. Mr. Hayes, while you are not Tyler's biological father, you are his psychological parent. You have been the consistent, loving, stable presence in his life. That matters. Under the psychological parent doctrine, this court is granting you full physical and legal custody of Tyler, pending a full hearing in 60 days. My vision blurs. Mrs. Hayes, you will have supervised visitation rights 2 hours per week. You will undergo psychological evaluation and parenting classes. She pauses. Additionally, I'm referring this case to the District Attorney's Office for criminal investigation into fraud and embezzlement charges. Pemberton starts to object. Judge Morrison cuts him off. As for Mr. Chen, she looks at David. Mr. Chen, you knew you were Tyler's biological father a year ago. You had testing done, and you said nothing. You allowed another man to continue raising your child while you maintained a relationship with the mother. Your judgment is questionable at best. David stands. Your Honor, I'd like to speak. Go ahead. I made mistakes, huge mistakes. I was selfish. I wanted to be part of Tyler's life, but I didn't want the responsibility. I let Sarah convince me that this arrangement was okay, that Marcus would never need to know. His voice breaks. But it wasn't okay. I see that now. I'm not asking for custody. I want Tyler to know I exist. I want a chance to know him if he wants to know me. But Marcus, he looks at me. Marcus is his father. I see that. I'm sorry for all of it. The courtroom is quiet. Judge Morrison nods slowly. Mr. Chen, I appreciate your honesty. If Mr. Hayes agrees, and if Tyler is comfortable, supervised visitation with you can be arranged. But that's Mr. Hayes' decision. She looks at all of us. This court believes in the best interest of the child. Tyler has made his wishes clear. He wants his father, and his father, she looks directly at me, is Marcus Hayes. She bangs the gavel. Court adjourned. 2 months later, the criminal trial. Sarah pleads guilty to fraud and embezzlement in exchange for a lighter sentence. 8 months in county jail, 3 years probation, full restitution of $127,000 plus legal fees. The courtroom is less crowded this time, just necessary parties. I'm there, Mike is there, Rebecca is there. Sarah reads a prepared statement. I'm sorry for the pain I caused. I thought I was doing what was best for my son. I was wrong. She doesn't look at me when she says it. The judge sentences her. Mrs. Hayes, you betrayed a trust in the most fundamental way. You used a child as a tool for financial gain. 8 months jail time to be served at county facility. 3 years probation upon release. Full restitution, and you are prohibited from discussing this case publicly or with Tyler without the approval of his therapist. Sarah nods. She's led away by the bailiff. I watch her go, feel nothing, no satisfaction, no anger, just nothing. Outside the courthouse, David is waiting. He looks nervous. Marcus, can we talk? Make it quick. I just want you to know I'm not fighting the custody ruling. You're Tyler's father. I see that. I was manipulated too, but that doesn't excuse my choices. He hands me an envelope. This is a statement for Tyler, for when he's older. If he ever wants to know me, I'm here, but on his terms, no pressure. I take the envelope. Did you know? When you got tested? Did you know what Sarah was planning? He shakes his head. I knew Tyler was mine biologically, but I thought Sarah had told you. I thought you knew and had accepted it. When I realized you didn't know, I should have said something. I didn't. I'm sorry. Why now? Why tell him this year? Sarah said you were pulling away, that Tyler was asking questions. She thought it was time. He looks away. I didn't know about the money, about the fraud, I swear. When I found out, I offered to help with restitution, to testify against her if needed. I study his face. He seems genuine, but then again, Sarah seemed genuine too. Tyler's in therapy, I tell him, working through all of this. If he decides he wants to meet you, really meet you, not just as mom's friend, then we'll arrange it. But that's his choice, not mine, not yours, his. David nods. Thank you. That's all I'm asking for. He walks away. I stand there holding the envelope, watching him go. Rebecca appears beside me. You okay? I don't know. Ask me in a year. She smiles. You won, Marcus. Remember that. You fought for your son, and you won. 1 year later, Tyler and I walk into Bella Nata on a Friday evening, April 17th. Our anniversary, 11 years since I proposed to Sarah here. 1 year since everything fell apart. Marco sees us at the door. His face breaks into a huge smile. Mr. Hayes, Tyler, welcome, welcome. He leads us to a table, not the corner table, a different one, better, by the window but facing the street, forward-looking. On the house tonight, Marco says, family special. Marco, you don't have to. I insist. You are family here now. You and Tyler. Tyler grins. He's 10 now, taller, more confident. Still has that cowlick that won't stay down. We order. Tyler gets spaghetti with extra meatballs. I get the Chianti. Different year, 2023, moving forward. While we wait for food, Tyler pulls out a card from his backpack. hands it to me. I made this in art class, for you. I open it. Construction paper, blue glitter glue. His K's are still backwards. The heart is still lopsided. Best dad ever. Thank you for choosing me. My throat tightens. I didn't choose you, buddy. You're my son. There was never a choice. Yeah, there was. Tyler's voice is serious, wise beyond his years. You could have left when you found out about the DNA stuff. Lots of people would have, but you didn't. You fought for me. He looks up with those clear eyes. That's choosing. Every day you choose to be my dad. That's bigger than DNA. I reach across the table, ruffle his hair. When did you get so smart? I've always been smart. You just finally noticed. He grins. That same grin from when he was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My kids grin. The food arrives, we eat, we talk about normal things, school, his soccer team, the camping trip we're planning for summer. Mike is joining us. And Rebecca, who's become a family friend. And Mrs. Patterson, Tyler's teacher, who advocated for us. And Marco, who brings out a special dessert. We're building something new. A found family. Not the one I planned, but the one we need. As we're leaving, Tyler holds my hand. He's almost too big for this now, but he does it anyway and says, Dad, you know what I learned this year? What's that, buddy? That family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up. I stop walking. Look down at him. Where'd you hear that? Mrs. Patterson said it in class, but it's true, right? You showed up every day, even when it was hard, even when you didn't have to. He squeezes my hand. That makes you more my dad than anyone. I pull him into a hug, right there on the sidewalk. Hold him tight. I'll always show up, I whisper, always. Later that night, after Tyler's asleep, I'm in my office. The DNA test is in my desk drawer. I take it out sometimes, look at it, not because I need it, but because it reminds me. Biology is an accident, a lottery of chromosomes and chance. But being a father, that's a choice you make every single day. Showing up for breakfast, helping with homework, reading at bedtime, teaching him to throw a football, to be kind, to stand up for himself, being there when he's scared, when he's hurt, when he's happy and wants to share it. That's fatherhood. That's what matters. The DNA test says 0.0%, but my heart says 100%. I keep the test as a reminder. The most important things in life can't be measured in a lab. They're measured in moments, in choices, in showing up. I put the test back in the drawer, close it. On my desk, there's a new photo. Tyler and me, moving day, our new apartment. We're both smiling. His arm is around my shoulders. Mine is around his. A family. Not born, chosen. I pick up my phone, type out a text to Mike. Thank you for everything, for standing by us. His response comes immediately. That's what family does. We don't leave. We don't leave. I say it out loud. Test the words. They feel true. We don't leave the people who truly matter. Not ever. If someone chose you as family, blood or not, drop A and tell me their name in the comments. I'll read everyone. Because found family, that's the realest family there is. And if this story moved you, share it. Someone in your life needs to hear that family is a choice. That showing up matters more than DNA. That love, real love, is something you build, not something you're born into. Tyler taught me that. A 9-year-old kid with backwards K's and a lopsided heart taught me the most important lesson of my life. We don't leave. We show up. Every single day. That's what makes us family.